It was a bright Saturday morning when I decided to dedicate the day to finding the perfect place for us to live. My wife, Anna, and I had been searching for a new apartment for weeks. The anticipation of moving into a cozy home together filled me with excitement. We had always dreamed of creating our little sanctuary, a space that reflected our love and shared aspirations. As I sipped my coffee, I pulled out my laptop to research potential listings. The usual websites filled the screen, but something caught my eye. A video thumbnail flashed across the screen, and curiosity got the better of me. I clicked on it, thinking it might offer some tips or insights into the housing market. To my horror, the video turned out to be something entirely different. It featured a familiar face, Anna, entangled in a moment of intimacy with a realtor named Mike. My heart sank. I recognized the setting. It was one of the apartments we had visited together just a few days prior. I could hardly process what I was seeing. Shock waves coursed through my body as I replayed the video, trying to convince myself that I was mistaken. But there it was, undeniable evidence of betrayal. The way Anna laughed at something Mike said, the way she leaned into him, it was all too real. I felt sick to my stomach, the warmth of my coffee now turning cold in my hands. How could she do this to us? To our dreams? I thought about all the late-night discussions we had, planning our future, picturing the life we wanted to build together. My mind raced with questions, each one sharper than the last. When did it happen? How long had this been going on? I closed the laptop, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. The idea of confronting Anna twisted my insides. I needed answers, but I feared what those answers would reveal. The dream of a shared life felt like a cruel joke now, and I was left grappling with a heart shattered by the very person I trusted the most. As I sat in silence, the morning sun streaming through the window, I realized I had to make a choice. I could either confront her right away or gather my thoughts before diving into the storm that lay ahead. Either way, the life we had envisioned together would never be the same again. I spent the next few hours in a haze, my mind replaying the video like a broken record. I couldn't shake the images of Anna and Mike from my thoughts, their laughter, the way their bodies moved closer together, the undeniable chemistry that sparked between them. The feeling of betrayal weighed heavily on my chest, making it hard to breathe. As the afternoon sun dipped lower in the sky, I finally made the decision to confront Anna. I needed to know the truth, no matter how much it hurt. I waited for her to come home, pacing the floor, my heart pounding with anxiety and anger. When Anna walked through the door, she greeted me with a bright smile, oblivious to the storm brewing within me. She carried a bouquet of fresh flowers, her cheeks flushed with excitement. "Look what I found at the market! I thought they would brighten our place," she said, her voice melodic and warm. I forced a smile, the flowers feeling like a cruel reminder of the life we were supposed to share. "We need to talk," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. The smile faded from her face, replaced by concern. "What's wrong?" she asked, setting the flowers down and stepping closer to me. Her eyes searched mine, trying to read the tension in my expression. "I saw something today," I said, my heart racing as I braced myself for her reaction. "A video of you and Mike." The air grew thick with silence. Her eyes widened, and for a fleeting moment, I thought I saw panic cross her face. "What video?" she stammered, but I could see the truth glimmering behind her facade. "The one where you're close with him. You were at that apartment we visited. It looked like more than just business, Anna," I said, my voice trembling with the weight of the accusation. Her cheeks flushed, but it wasn't from embarrassment. It was something deeper, something that hinted at secrets I never wanted to uncover. "I can explain," she said, her voice low and hesitant. "Explain what? How you let him touch you? How you laughed with him like I don't even exist?" I shot back, anger rising within me like a tidal wave. In that moment, I could see the conflict in her eyes, the guilt battling against a longing she hadn't acknowledged. "It wasn't what it seemed," she replied, her tone softening, but I wasn't ready to let her off the hook. "It looked pretty intimate to me," I retorted. "What did you expect me to think?" She took a step closer, her voice dropping to a whisper, filled with a mix of desperation and desire. "You don't understand. He made me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years." My heart sank further. You felt alive with him? While we were searching for a home together? Anna's eyes flickered with emotion, and I could see the struggle within her. It just happened. I didn't mean for it to. I didn't plan this. Before I could respond, she reached out, her fingers brushing against my arm. The touch sent a jolt through me, igniting feelings I thought were extinguished by betrayal. I still love you, she said, her voice trembling, her vulnerability raw and real. But there was something about him, something thrilling. As her words hung in the air, a whirlwind of emotions coursed through me, anger, pain, and an undeniable attraction that simmered beneath the surface. You think I want to hear about thrills when I feel like my whole world is collapsing? But as I looked into her eyes, I saw a flicker of something else, desire mixed with regret, the very essence of temptation that had led her astray. I knew this moment could change everything. The air between us crackled with an electric tension, the kind that ignites passions even in the midst of chaos. I could see the struggle in Anna's eyes. She was torn between the thrills she experienced with Mike and the love she still felt for me. It was intoxicating and infuriating at the same time. Do you want me to forgive you? I asked, my voice low, trying to mask the turmoil within me. Because right now, it feels impossible. Anna stepped even closer, her body almost brushing against mine, the heat radiating from her skin drawing me in despite the pain. I don't know if I deserve your forgiveness, she whispered, her breath warm against my cheek. But I want you to understand, it wasn't just about him. It was about me feeling desired, feeling wanted. Her honesty hung in the air, and my heart ached for the woman I had fallen in love with. So, what does this mean for us? I asked, feeling a mix of anger and desire swirling within me. I want us to be strong again, she said, her eyes pleading. But I also want you to know how much I regret letting that happen. I can't change the past, but I can try to make things right. Can you? I challenged, stepping back slightly, needing some space to breathe. How do I know this won't happen again? How do I know you won't seek out that thrill with someone else? Anna hesitated, and in that moment, I felt an overwhelming urge to close the distance between us. I wanted to shake her, to make her understand the depth of my pain, but there was something else beneath that, a desire to hold her, to pull her close and make everything feel okay again. I want to prove it to you, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Let me show you what I feel for you. Not just with words, but with my actions. Before I could respond, she reached out, her fingers grazing my jaw, igniting a spark that traveled down my spine. I've missed you, she confessed, her voice thick with emotion. I've missed us. In that moment, I felt the barrier between us begin to crumble. The heat of her body was magnetic, and despite the anger, the betrayal, I couldn't deny the pull I felt towards her. Show me, I finally replied, my voice a mere breath as I stepped closer again, closing the gap that had felt so vast just moments before. Anna's eyes darkened with a mix of longing and desperation, and she leaned in, capturing my lips with hers. The kiss was tentative at first, filled with uncertainty, but it quickly deepened into something more, passionate and raw. Her hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer as if she were trying to erase the distance that had grown between us. I responded instinctively, my hands finding her waist, drawing her in against me. The warmth of her body felt like a balm, soothing the ache in my heart, even as I battled with the knowledge of her betrayal. I kissed her deeply, pouring all my confusion, anger, and desire into that moment, hoping to reclaim the connection we once had. As we broke apart, both breathless, Anna's eyes searched mine. I want to make it right, she said, her voice trembling. I don't want to lose you. Let's explore this together, just us. Her words hung in the air, heavy with promise and possibility. The thrill of danger mixed with the comfort of familiarity washed over me. It felt reckless, but part of me craved that recklessness, the fire that had ignited between us, the way her body felt against mine, and the unspoken tension that begged to be explored. Okay, I breathed, the decision hanging in the balance. But if we do this, there are no more secrets. No more hiding from what we both want. Anna nodded, her gaze fierce and determined. No more secrets, she promised, her lips curling into a smile that ignited something deep within me. Let's find our way back to each other, together. And in that moment, as we stood in the remnants of our shattered trust, I felt a flicker of hope. It was a chance to rediscover what we had lost, to explore the depths of our desire amidst the ruins of betrayal. The road ahead would be uncertain, but I was willing to take that risk. Together. The days that followed were filled with a mix of passion and tension as Anna and I navigated the aftermath of her betrayal. We had both made a commitment to rebuild our relationship, to explore the depths of our love while confronting the wounds that had been inflicted. It wasn't easy, but each moment brought us closer to the intimacy we both craved. One evening, we found ourselves in our favorite spot on the couch, the soft glow of the lamp casting a warm light around us. I could feel the lingering tension in the air, a reminder of what we had both been through. Anna leaned against me, her head resting on my shoulder, and I could sense the weight of her regret. "Do you really think we can get through this?" she asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. I turned to look at her, searching her eyes for the sincerity I needed to see. "I want to believe we can," I replied, my hand finding hers and squeezing it gently. "But it's going to take time." "I know," she said, her gaze steady. "I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You mean too much to me to let this destroy us." As we sat in silence, I reflected on the journey we had embarked upon. Our nights were filled with stolen kisses and whispered confessions, each moment building a bridge over the chasm of betrayal. We began to rediscover the simple joys we had once shared, from cooking dinner together to binge-watching our favorite shows. But it was during the quiet moments, when we lay entwined in bed, that I felt the most connection. One night, as we lay there, I turned to her, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "You know, I never thought I could feel this way after everything," I admitted. She smiled softly, her fingers tracing patterns on my chest. "Neither did I. But there's something about facing this together that makes me realize how much I truly want you." With that, we fell into each other's arms, our kisses igniting the air around us, transforming our uncertainty into something beautiful. Each touch was an unspoken promise, a reminder that despite the hurt, the love we shared was still alive, waiting to be nurtured. Weeks passed, and we continued to grow closer, both physically and emotionally. We talked openly about our feelings, about the temptations that had led Anna astray, and the trust we were rebuilding brick by brick. It was raw and sometimes painful, but it brought us a level of honesty we had never known before. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, I took Anna out for a special dinner. We sat at a small table on the patio, the ambience soft and romantic, and I felt the warmth of her presence beside me. "Thank you for sticking with me through all of this," Anna said, her eyes shimmering with sincerity. "I know I hurt you, but I'm so grateful you chose to fight for us." I reached across the table, taking her hand in mine. "You're worth fighting for." "We both are," I replied, my voice steady. "I believe we can come out of this stronger than before." As the night wore on, we shared our hopes and dreams, and with every word, I felt the weight of the past lifting. Anna leaned in, her lips brushing against mine, and I could feel the spark reigniting. In that moment, everything felt right. The journey hadn't been easy, but we were forging a new path together, one built on honesty, desire, and a renewed commitment to each other. As we kissed under the stars, I knew that while the shadows of betrayal would always linger, they would no longer define us. We had found our way back, not just to each other, but to the love that had always been waiting for us beneath the surface. And as we embraced, I felt a sense of hope blooming within me, a promise of new beginnings and endless possibilities.